Okay, hey guys, this is Tasha at Loose Threads, and we are going to finish the project today that we were working on for the child's apron. These little adorable aprons that we put together. The last thing that's pending on this are the snaps, because I wanted to add snaps to these. If you didn't want to add snaps though, or buttons to keep this together, this actually could tie around the child's neck here, and then of course the waist, around the waist, and you could just tie it to keep it on the child, and I'll show you how that looks on my child's dress form. But I'm going to show you guys how to put snaps together, how to use them, and they're easy, and they really are. If you get the pearl ones, and they come in all different kinds of colors, I kind of like the pearl ones, and that's what I'm going to show you today. But they can really add a lot to your project. So right here in front of you, I've got just a scrap of fabric, and I've already put a snap set on this fabric. So the pearl side, of course, would be on the outside that shows on your project, and then the snap side would be on the other side. So if I had my pearl here, I would bring my strap down and it would snap right in here. So the pearl would be on this side, and the voila, snap part would be on this side, and they would just snap together. So first of all, I'm going to show you how easy this is. There's actually, let me just tell you the brand that I'm using. I got these off of Amazon, and these are called, they're from the Snap Source, and I bought them because they were the right size for one thing. This is the size that I wanted, and there were multiple colors in here, so it wasn't just one color. And so the first thing I did was I got a little scrap of paper, I keep saying paper, a scrap of fabric, and put the snap together. And so it just snaps like that and unsnaps. Okay, so to put these snaps together, there are 4 components, and they're all just kind of thrown in this package, so you have to turn it over, and it actually has the directions on what goes with which piece. So the pearl prong, and it has these little prongs, the pearl goes with neither of these. These are both snaps. Let me find that. There should be a nice flat piece. Here it is. Okay, so the pearl goes with this little disc. This doesn't have any of the tongs on it. It doesn't have the snap part that sticks up. And then the snap part goes with just a little ring with prongs on it. Okay, so you're going to want to, we'll just go ahead and do it. I'm going to say I want to put my pearl snap there. I'm going to put it on the fabric, and then I'm going to turn it over and put the little disc right on top of that. And you can feel the prongs through the fabric. I'm just going to press a little bit, and then I have a very small set of a very small set of needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to press all the way around this disc. And I kind of have put it in an awkward place, but it doesn't really matter. I can fold over the fabric if I want to, and press all the way around until those prongs just get set into the snap. And see, it's not going anywhere. So they just fold into the snap, and then the next piece is going to be my plain little round disc with prongs on it. Okay, and the part that snaps into the pretty pearlized part. So again, I'm going to kind of press it together just to get it kind of in place to stay, and then take some needle nose pliers and just go all the way around. Whoops. That didn't stay very well. Go all the way around and make sure that this part of the snap is set nicely. There is actually a snap setting tool that you can buy, or you can just use the needle nose pliers, whichever one you want to do. Oops. And you really want to set these snaps very well so that they will not come off. So I'm just pressing each side, and you can see how that's stuck on there now. And looks like this got bent a little bit right here, so I'm going to press this down. I'll probably just do it over the fabric. Like so. Press it down. And again. Press it down. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. All right, and so you can see how now that is secured front and back to the fabric and ready to snap. Neat little gizmo. So this is a real fast, kind of nice decorative way of finishing your projects. If you are wanting something that other than a buttonhole or other than tying your project, this is a good alternative. We are going to do buttonholes though, and I'm going to show you on my Brother machine how beautifully it does buttonholes. But I figured we would, for these cute little aprons that we have been working on, I thought that snaps would be kind of a good way of finishing out this project. And of course, I would go through and find the colors that I would like to go with the project. And gosh, this green looks pretty because it's picking up the green out of the blue bib here, the leaves, and it also really shows up nicely on this pinky red. I don't think the yellow, I don't think the yellow is really a good choice. Let's see what else we have. Oh, there's a kind of a magenta pink. That's pretty too. I like both of those. And actually, if you wanted to get kind of funky, you could do different colored snaps. You wouldn't have to stick with just one color snap. Now for this project, I'm actually going to make it so that I'm actually going to put two different snaps so that as the child grows, or as a child grows, you can actually go out to the larger snap and make the apron larger, or if the child is kind of smaller to begin with, you would use the smaller snap, if that makes any sense. Or maybe you have several little girls and one of them has outgrown this snap, so you just go back to this snap. So I like to make things last, and And I mean, you'd put a lot of time and effort and dressing your children and making projects for them, and you really want those things to last for them. And I'm thinking I'm liking this pink and green, the two different snaps. I think it kind of is really pretty. I really like the pearlized. It gives it a nice shine. So here we go. I don't think this has blue in it. I don't really see a blue. I'll just dump it out here. I've got orange, I've got yellow, I've got the pink, and I've got the green. And those are the colors that came with this set. But you can get all kinds of snap colors. There's designs, snaps with designs in them. They're plain snaps that just have a ring. So instead of having anything that really shows up, you might just have a little white or just a silver colored ring if you didn't really want it to show up. But I want these to show up because I think that's cute. So I'm going to get my dress form and show you how I'm going to fit this on there and decide where the snaps go. Okay guys, and so here's the dress form. I don't have any young children, so I just picked up a little jean dress from the thrift store and stuck a hem in it because it really was too large for this dress form. But I kind of always pictured this apron over a little jean dress or over a little pair of jeans. I thought that would be really, really cute. And so I've actually positioned it on the dress form, and of course you would do this, position it on your child. Let me pull this up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. See if that'll stay. Okay. And so I think I want the top of this to be kind of right where it is. And so, you know, that there's a little bit of area here. The bib is in the front. And then I'm going to turn the dress form around. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pin it in place on the dress. And then I'll turn the dress form around, and you can see what we have in the back here are the straps. And my thought, what I want to do is crisscross these straps because I think that's really very cute, and attach the snaps to these straps, and then they will attach to these straps. And I may have to actually pull this up just a little bit more. Takes a little bit of kind of figuring out where you want everything to be before you place your snaps. The idea that I had was to crisscross, and I wanted to put more than one snap on here so that this could be adjustable for the size of the child as the child grows. So I'm going to unpin it from the front because this needs to come up just a little bit more. Unpin it from the front over here. Pull it up just a little bit, and you know, then it's just kind of, do I want the crisscross straps to be underneath? I can do that, or I may want them to be over. I'm going to pin both ways and see which way I like it better. this one will come around here. So basically I'm just getting my sort of kind of where I'm going to put the snaps and where the straps themselves are going to go. This part is meant to tie in a bow. So you would have your snaps here, and this will be in a bow. And obviously, if I'm looking at this bow, this is not even and equal, so that's where I'll take my tape measure and measure all the way around and mark where I want my snaps to be, and make sure that the other side is identical. But that's really how that's meant to go. I think that looks really cute. And let's see, I put the snaps away, but I've got them right here, so you can see that how cute that would be. And yes, I actually do want these to show, so to be on the outside. And I don't think it looks bad actually to have two different snaps. I don't know if you can see because my hand's in the way, but two different colors, so that as the child grows, this can be let out. And of course they would be in the middle of the strap. Okay, so I'm going to measure, and here's my measuring tape, and basically just measure from the front of the bib all the way back to here and decide where snap 1 is going to go and where snap 2 is going to go. And once I do that, once I get that done, I will turn, I'll turn this around, and you can see this is, I've pulled it all unevenly from the back, so you want to make sure it's even in the front and even in the back. It needs to be even at the top and even on the sides. That really does look very cute with the jean dress up underneath it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few minutes and get my measurements, and then I'll show you where I got my measurements, and then it's just a matter of placing the snaps and we're done. We've got a full functioning apron ready to wear. So I have done all my measurements, and I simply measured from the top of the shoulder all the way down to the bottom of the strap, and made sure that it was the same for the second crisscross strap. And then I measured from this part of the strap down, so that's 3 inches. You can see there that's 3 inches, and from here to here, and that's 3 inches. Okay, if I wanted to, and I always mess around a little bit more with these, I think I'm going to scoot this over a little bit more to give more room for the bow in here. And I'll scoot this over a little bit more, and then I will measure again and make sure that from the top of this strap, where these two straps intersect, it is going to be, it looks like 2.5 now, and over here it is not quite 2.5, so I'm going to move this over a little bit more until where they intersect it's 2.5. And that's still not 2.5. Let's see. Bring it down a little bit more. we're almost there. So from where these intersect, the top of this strap intersects with the crisscross strap, that's the measurement I'm taking here. Well, that is about 2.5. Okay, and that gives me enough room to tie a nice little bow if I want to, which you do, because that's going to be very cute. And then the snaps will be on either side. Okay, so I pinned up this strap. This is the one that's going to have the pretty parts of the snaps showing, and I'll just want to, I thought I'd put one here and one here, and you kind of just want to get them in the middle of the strap. Again, just kind of measure, and personally I'm one that'll just eyeball it, but if you just want to measure and get it right in the middle. And it's about 1.5. I'm going to put it about right there. Okay. And this one, the pretty one, is the one that you put just the plain round disc. So here's a plain round disc, and I'm going to pull out my pen. I know about where I want this to be. The disc is going to just come up underneath here, and the prongs go right through the fabric. Let me just push them through. You can see the prongs coming up through the fabric right there. Then the plain disc goes right on those prongs. Take one last look at it, make sure that's exactly where you want it, and then take your needle nose pliers and press them together. The prongs actually go into that metal disc and bend and secure it. So I'm just taking my needle nose pliers and going all the way around and making sure that and actually I don't want to scratch this, so I don't want to scratch this pretty part. I'm going to just put a piece of fabric on top of that and press it down so it doesn't get scratched, but I can put enough force on it to securely fasten that snap, because you don't want it coming out. Okay, and there's the first snap. See how easy that was and quick? And then the second one, it's going to be right here, hereabouts. Like I said, I liked the two different colored snaps. I thought that's cute. And I'm going to push the prongs through, all the way through, and find my little disc and set that on the prongs. And you can kind of press it by hand. I'm kind of a weakling, so I'm going to get my needle nose pliers and put a little bit of pressure, and then so I don't scratch this pretty part, I'm just going to put a piece of fabric in between and continue to apply pressure until all those prongs feel like they've bent. You can kind of feel them bend into that disc, and I want to just make sure. And what I will do, I've got a little bit heavier needle nose pliers, so just for safety's sake, you don't want these coming off because they're pretty and kids like to put pretty things in their mouths and eat them. I'm going to just apply a little bit more pressure on there. You got to be careful or it'll crack. And there you have it. apply a little bit more pressure to this first one. Make sure that it is very well secured. And there you have it. Okay, so then the next part will be I'll only need one. Here's my other, let's see. Okay, so this is the strap. This one's going to crisscross over this strap, and I have this one, oh yeah, I do. This one has the pin, so all I need for this one will be a prong, just a plain prong, and the snap part. I'll only need one of these, so I'll adhere that to this part of the strap, and then I can either use the pink snap or the green snap. And I did just recheck and make sure that this is exactly where I want my final snap to go, because once you get the snaps in, they're a little difficult to get out. So you want to make sure that they are in just the right place that you want them to be. I'm going to put the snap right in the middle of where this pin is, right in the middle of this strap. I'm going to pull the pin out now. Okay, and there's my snap. Again, the prongs are going to go on the other side of this strap. I'm going to push them through. Does that look like it's about in the middle? I think it can scoot over just a little bit. Okay, that looks about right. And then I'll take this part of the snap. This is where this is going to snap. And take my little needle nose pliers and start applying pressure to adhere these two pieces together through the fabric. And it looks like, let's see what happened here. Oh, it looks like one of the prongs got pushed out to the side. I'm going to have to pull that prong back in. So, and this is the kind of thing that happens with any project. You're going to have things that go wrong, and you just have to kind of figure out what to do. I could pull this out and start all over again. I'm hoping though that that one prong will go right on in to this part of the snap. I'm going to take my heavier duty needle nose, and maybe that will. Yeah, it's just to the side of it. Let's see what I can do here. Sorry, I don't mean to go out of the picture, because you guys want to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to bend that one prong right so it will catch. And it looks like it is going to be stubborn and not want to catch. So I'm going to take this apart. I say I am, because that did not work. And it looks like some of the prongs are bent, so I'm going to have to gently pull them out of the fabric and try again. Okay, I removed the little disc with the prongs that didn't work. I've replaced it with a new one. Took a little bit of using the needle nose pliers and kind of pushing the prongs back towards the middle, and gently pulling it out of the fabric so as not to tear it. And now let me find my little snap. We're going to try this again. It's going to work this time. I'm going to apply gentle pressure just with my hands, although I am wimpy. And little needle nose, little gentle needle nose. Feels like it's going to work this time. A little bit of needle nose. And that's with any project. There's always going to be something that happens that you have to kind of go back and fix and work with. Just today, since I've been doing this film, the little dress that I bought to go on my dress form was too big for the dress form, so I had to put a quick hem in it, and as I was sewing that, my sewing machine needle broke, so I had to replace that. Okay, so things go wrong when you're doing a project. It's just the way things go, but see how nice that is? That's in there, and I probably will give this some more gentle but firm pressure just to make absolutely sure that it's going to stay in the fabric. And now I can snap this together. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and what I'm going to do is, since I have my spaces measured, or my places measured already, all I have to do is, and you want to make sure you're working with the right strap now. So I've got, this is the one for the waist, and I'm just going to measure the two waist straps from the snap to the end of this, and then make sure that this one is the same. And let's see, I think I'm missing a part because it messed up. So this is about not quite 5.5. We're going to bring this over here. I'm holding my place here. And this is where I'll put my next snap. Measure twice. Place snap once. Okay. So I know that at the end of this measuring tape is where my snap is going to go. Alright, and so I'm going to do something similar for the last two snaps on this apron. I'm measuring from the end here. I know that my green snap is going to be at the 2-inch mark, and then I'll measure down from there for my pink snap. Okay, and here's the finished product. The snaps are on, and I finished them out. You know, I actually attached them using the needle nose pliers, but I had such a tough time with one of these that I would recommend getting the actual tool. There's a little snap setter tool that you can buy that makes the whole job a lot easier, and I wish I had had that for this project, but these snaps are in very well, and when this, as a child grows, you can just take out the green and put it into the pink snap and give more room. So that is the back of it, and I'm going to try to turn my dress form around. You can kind of see the side. I'm not sure you can get the whole dress in. pan out a little bit. And a little bit more so you can see the bottom of the dress. If you remember, we put I attached some antique eyelet on the bottom and the rickrack. There's a little bit of hand embroidery, and there's a little bonus apron for the little girl's doll, whoever has this. So that was a fun project. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This apron and the doll apron are going to be for sale on my Etsy shop, and that is Lavender Days Boutique. So if you would like to buy this apron or any other aprons that I have for sale there, I have this one, and I have another one in the cherry, but it's yellow and white and blue. But if you're interested in any of my products, just look me up on Etsy, Lavender Days Boutique, excuse me. And of course, that's from Loose Threads here. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that your projects turn out great.